All right, the world's ending. It's the apocalypse. Where's Rick? Well, of course, the funny thing with Walking Dead, as much as I loved Rick, I almost think Rick, well, not almost, Rick basically, as much as he intended, I think Rick just made the apocalypse worse in the end. That being said, stock market hitting new lows, crypto falling apart. It's the end of the world. But I will say this. There's amazing trading opportunities out there. All right, I am lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen. I'm going to go over a couple setups, one from yesterday and one from today, that in my opinion, technical breakouts, heavily shorted stocks, story stocks, the dip and rips, the afternoon VWAP holds, the ABCD patterns. I'm telling you, the great thing about in these scary, volatile times, listen, you can ignore a lot of this fear mongering because one of my, just like bad hair don't care, which I don't know if I even have any hair left, bad hair don't care, penny stocks don't care about what the overall market is doing, okay? So I'm going to talk about, number one, textbook, about as textbook as they get for a dip and rip. If you're on StocksTrade Advisory, we talk about the dip and rip. I go really fast. I'm going to break down SIDU later in the video and why it was a textbook one. And because there's a great learning example there when we're talking about checking those boxes. But I'm going to start with a great technical breakout and why I think this was the best play yesterday. Okay. Speaking of StocksTrade Advisory, click the link below. Stupid cheap. Right now it's $50 a year. I'm live every single day, every single trading day. I've missed 2 days in 2.5 years. I started this at the beginning of the pandemic, and it was because my power was out and my internet. Tree fell on the lines. Okay, twice. I live in the middle of nowhere. I like being in the rural area, but anyway, it happens. Twice, every single day for $50 a year. You get an ebook, you get a weekly watch list. It's incredible value. Click the link below. All right, BTTX. If you were on StocksTrade Advisory yesterday morning, it was a shaky morning. We were kind of looking for plays, not much out there. I'm like, and because remember, we do a lot of Q&A. And at the, I'm live at 8:30. Let me zoom in. So basically, I go live right here, okay? As I go live, all of a sudden, BTTX perks up, and somebody mentioned, said, hey, BTTX over 240. I go to the chart. I look and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here at 8:31? Right here's my cursor. And why does that matter? Okay, BTTX, very, very, very sketchy biotech, trash company, heavily shorted for a reason. Okay, this stock should be heavily shorted. But let me go back to the first day of the move, which would have been Tuesday. I mean, look at this big gap up. Pulls back at the open, and then look at that break of the high of the day, that VWAP hold high of day break we talk about. This is the pre-market high right here to $1.50. It breaks that at 330, basically rockets $1 a share to the upside. That's day one, okay? Then the beauty of this setup is day two, gaps up in pre, pulls at the open, breaks the high of the day, post 945. Who knows what that is? Commonly referred to as the dip and rip, as we like to say. Okay, that was day two. Day three kind of went into consolidation mode. There was an afternoon breakout, but it pulled when it hit that 240 level. So again, let's zoom into yesterday and why we care. And notice I'll hover my cursor there. So we are, it's officially day 4 of the move in a terrible, heavily shorted, worst, air quotes, worst stock in the world. Well, when it breaks that triple top Monday, Tuesday, went Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yesterday was Thursday. When it breaks that, that's significant. And why is it significant? Look at this volume, okay? Normally in penny stock land, if you've been around, normally the biggest volume's the day one, okay? The press release drops on day one. Everybody piles in. It's party time on day one. Look at the anomaly here. Day 4 of the move. And this is what grinds my gears. When people are like, oh, there's no opportunity out there. Recently I did the whole Seinfeld Serenity Now thing, so I won't redo that. But anyway, I'm just like, Day 4 of a crappy penny stock, and it's the highest volume day. That has to be on your radar. And what is great about this setup, okay, it's day 4. Okay, you should know about this stock. And that's the very first thing I said on StocksToTrade Advisor. I'm like, listen, you guys don't need me to let you know. A day oneer, okay, maybe you need the access to breaking news that I have. Maybe you need me to interpret a press release. Maybe you need me to look at the float and break all this down on day 1. That's why I'm here. That's why I love what I do. But day 4, you had 4 days, okay? You don't need me to tell you that this crappy penny stock is breaking a quadruple top, okay? Now, doesn't mean it's a guaranteed setup. Doesn't mean it's going to work every time. But man, your risk to reward is just incredible. Because then you risk the lows of the days down in the low 2s, and there's a $1+ of upside on this thing. That shows you the power of combining all these factors, okay? That's yesterday's plays. Let's talk about today's, okay? Again, there's no lack of ideas out there if you know what to look for. So let's talk about SIDU. This thing gaps up at 9 a.m., 9 a.m. press release. You know how I love those 9 a.m. press releases, okay? It's a space-related press release. Keep an eye, depending on when you're watching this, the space-related stuff really is kind of what I call a warming up sector, okay? It's not a hot sector yet, but we're really kind of getting there. It's funny, SIDU dropped the press release this morning. I think we had 2 other space-related press releases today, okay? Again, what am I going to say? I love when they know how to play the game, okay? Listen, there's no coincidence that somebody at some sketchy penny stock is like, hey, do you see what SIDU did today? Get that PR out, okay? That's how hot sectors happen, okay? It's don't overcomplicate this thing, especially in penny stocks. It is that stupid. It is that stupid that they see 100% gainer and they're like, we got to sell some stock, okay? Another thing, here's full of tips in this video. Why do penny stocks exist? Okay? Ask yourself that. I'll answer your question. I won't wait to sell stock, okay? Penny stocks exist to sell paper. Okay? I don't care what industry they are in. I don't care where they're located. I don't care what they say they do. They are in business to sell paper. That's what they do, okay? That's why you see these sectors. That's why you see 2 other space-related press releases today. Okay, anyway, gaps up in huge, has the 9 a.m. chat pump as well. I think 9:05 a.m. chat pump drops. This is a low float stock, 6 million float. It has the worst chart in the world. Man, this thing IPO'd earlier this year. Look at this disaster, okay? Disaster of an IPO. Look at that candle on day 1. Murder. If there's any children in the room, don't show them that day 1 IPO candle on SIDU. Children, they should not be subjected to seeing that type of horror. Then every single day it goes lower. Every single day. That's what we want for a dip and rip, okay? Low float, news, chat pump, disaster of a chart, great volume, well-timed PR. They dropped it at the perfect time. Chat guy follows in. All the stars are aligned. Then what do? Do we chase in pre? No. No, what we do is we wait for that week open, okay? The light gray right here. Light gray is pre-market. Right here where I'm hovering is the market open. Big red candle. Every idiot that bought this thing in pre-market, every moron chat room sheep that followed it panics out. Because they don't know what to do. They don't watch these videos. They're not in StocksToTrade advisory. They panic out. Then it bases, and then guess what? 9:45, it breaks 4 and spikes to 450. That's a predictable pattern, okay? And listen, you make 30, 40, maybe you nail the top and you make 50 cents a share on a freaking $2 stock. That's a good day, okay? Got a couple hundred shares, maybe you got 1,000 shares. You knock down $500 when everybody's talking about the world ending and it's the zombie apocalypse, but you spotted, and here's the biggest thing. I don't care if you made freaking 2 cents a share. This repeats and it repeats and it repeats when you have a box checker on a dip and rip. All right. Have an amazing day, my friends. And I know I rant on this all the time. Forget what you're hearing. I hate to always say the mainstream media, because I know what that sounds like. The fake news, blah, 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 blah. But I'm telling you, they're selling you fear, okay? They get you to click. They get you to watch. They want you scared. They want you doing nothing while they make all the money. You can look at stuff at BTTX yesterday. Stock market destroyed. Perfect play. You can look for a perfect dip and rip on a Friday on SIDU. Or you can hide in your basement and cry all day long about the stock market ending and hoping Rick comes through the door and saves you. He probably won't. He'll probably screw it up like he does every time. Check out StocksToTrade Advisory, live every day, 8:30 Eastern. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.